directly into step 5. That's what I am saying here. So when you need to talk about your qualification, you can say in these ways. As you can see in these 3 ways, you can say, I am a recent BTech graduate from Amritsar Group of Colleges with 9 CGPA. Or you can say that I have completed bachelor's in electronic and communication engineering with specialization in cybersecurity, in antenna, in networking. Or you can say I'm currently. Sometimes when you people are in 3rd year or you are in 4th year, any placement, any campus placement is there and you people sit for the interview. In that particular time, you can say, I'm currently pursuing a 4-year degree program at Amritsar Group of Colleges with focus on antenna, networking, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, whatever branch you have, you can go for that. So once you take your greeting, once you start with the greeting, you take your name, you talk about your experience, then you have to come about your qualification that I am graduate, I am postgraduate, I have done Master of Philosophy or any additional qualification or highest qualification at that particular time you have when you are appearing for the interview. Then sometimes some students make mistake here. Even sometimes when we listen, when you people are performing your introduction, sometimes you start your introduction or you say that I am doing BTech in ECE from AGC, or you say I am doing BTech in electrical engineering from ASET. Now, ACET or AGC, these are abbreviations. You know that what AGC stands for. Maybe you are appearing the HR, the employer, who has come from the south or who has come from Hyderabad, who has come from Delhi. He doesn't know that what this AGC stands for. So never ever use these cryptic abbreviations that what that stands for. I am BMM from NMMI. So these are the things which definitely not give a clear picture to the employer. You don't have to say this. You have to say that I am a student of Bachelor of Electronics and Communication Engineering from Amritsar Group of Colleges, not AGC. Or you don't have to say that I am doing BBFCH. They don't know the abbreviations. You know, maybe they know the abbreviations, but in professional introduction, it is always suggestible that always use detailed version of your qualification, your college name, your university name, your degree name in the full form. Then when you have to say, simply say, I'm a software engineer, I'm a networking engineer, I am an electrical engineer from Amritsar Group of Colleges. Sometimes it is not enough to say only that I am an electrical engineer or I am a mechanical engineer or I have done electronics and communication engineering. Now, when you are going to tell them that you have done electronics and communication engineering, there is a chance to add achievement oriented mini stories. For example, as I was telling you, in your 4 years, you will get a number of times when you work on projects, some minor projects, some major projects, working when you people go for training in 2 months, when you people go for 6 months training. Sorry, you will go and make projects. You will work on different research projects. So now it is the time when you can add here. You can say, I was part of research project on how modern technology changing the way of teaching in future, where we worked with an edtech company to evaluate the efficacy of some tech-based teaching interventions. Make sure you talk about an area that is relevant to the employer. If the area is not directly relevant, then in that case, you can talk about the skills which are relevant. Sometimes what happens, suppose in your 4 years degree program, you go for a training, when you apply for 2 months training in that company is related to your branch. But whatever work you have done there, whatever project you have handled there in that 2 months or 6 months, that project is not related with the company in which you are applying for the interview. Now you have to see that the project which I am going to talk about, which I have done in my degree program, whether that make any sense with this company in which I am applying for interview or not. If it is related, you can say. If it is not related, then you can talk about the skills, the qualities, the learning of your in that particular 2 months or 6 months. That you have to decide whether you have to talk about your qualities or you have to talk about your projects. Then then you can talk about your training programs, your courses, your other experiences you might have during your graduation, and your CGPA. Avoid as a fresher, as it is already in resume. Instead of that, highlight your academic achievement by saying that I have consistently been in top 1% or 5% of my class. When you talk about that, I have done bachelor's of computer science engineering from Amritsar group of colleges. You can also talk about your programs in the 4 years. Definitely, even if I know in your first year you people have done Ellison courses, you people might have attended some conferences, some national webinars, international webinars. So that was only 1 year, but still this second year, third year, fourth year, in these 3 years also you will participate in many programs. The programs which will be organized by the department, the programs which will be organized by the other departments, and that will be related to your concern or outside the college or anywhere which you find it out that can be helpful for your learning. So any course, any training program, any experience you can explain when you are talking about your college that I have done bachelor's in electronics and communication engineering from Amritsar group of colleges with 8 CGPA. Apart from that, I have done 2 month training program in a government institute. I have also taken part in the courses, and you can talk about your experience. You can avoid, you can you don't have to tell them that your CGPA, because they can see it in the resume. You can talk about that I was the 1% or I was the consistent first position holder throughout my degree program. Then your additional qualification. It includes your outside courses, your skills, your awards. Sometimes you are doing BTech degree, but at the same time, when you get a chance, you enroll yourself outside some other courses. For example, the students who are from electronics and communication, Cisco networking, or sometimes, as you know, Python is there. These might be not the courses or the programs which you have to study in your degree. But as you know, the market or the companies, they want that every student should know Python. So if not in your syllabus, whenever you get a chance, whenever your semester over and another semester has 1 month gap, you think that in that 1 month I can go and learn the Python basics, then and you have that done. You can also mention that I'm a student of electronics and communication engineering, but as my interest in the technology, I have also done a course of Python from this institute for this month, and I have a knowledge of basic things, or I have a detailed knowledge about the Python. You can talk about your skills. You have management skills. You are group leader. You have participated in the events of the college. You have organized your departmental activities, awards you have won, the competition which in the college or outside the college or in the university. You can talk about that in the additional qualification. And for example, you can say, I have completed a 6 month computer animation course from VMM Amritsar. I am proficient in French and Spanish. Sometimes these language courses students have an interest and they complete it whenever they get the time in their 4 year degree program. Sometimes you can say I have learned .NET, Java, Python on Coursera, which have helped in completing project on the networking or on the antenna. According to your requirement, whatever you have done, you can mention in your introduction. You can use adjectives about your personality. As if we start with the greeting, we take the name, we talk about like our experience, we talk about our qualification, we talk about our training, we talk about our courses, we talk about our additional qualification. Now it is the time to tell about ourselves, our personality adjectives. Some personality adjective you can use about yourself, that I am versatile, I am easygoing, I am solution oriented, I am determined, I am a team player, I am creative, I am open minded, I enjoy working with others, I am flexible, I am a helpful person, I am a kindful person. You can use these adjectives to tell them that what kind of personality traits, what special you have in your personality, what positive personality traits you occupy in your personality, that you can use in when you have to tell them after your additional qualification. Then it comes your hobbies. As I have mentioned, it is optional because in professional introduction, there is no need to tell them that I love to listen music, I love to read books, I love to surfing on the net, or I love to play online games. Now, hobbies need to be related with your passion. It need to relate with your dream. It need to relate with your vision. This is an optional point, but if you think whatever you have that is connected and you can make sense, you can make sense of your hobbies, which can highlight your personality more and have more impression on employer, then you can add this point. if if you have any hobby which can be related to your personality, which can add something more impression of you to the employer, then you need to add your hobby. For example, I am a trained singer, and the daily riyaz has taught me self discipline and dedication. Or I am a keen runner, and this not only helps me keep fit, but also helps me network with other runners in the community. If you are using these kind of hobbies or passions, then they relate it that he is not singing for the leisure activity, but even in this singing, if he is doing singing, if he is doing practice, he's learning dedication, he's learning discipline from that. So they related that it is related. And if you are disciplined, if you are dedicated, they need an employer who should have these qualities in their personality. Then the next step, the second last step comes family. Again, this is an optional point. You don't have to tell them because they can see who, from which family you are. But if you want to relate it with you, this is optional point again. But if you wish, you can plan it appropriately. For example, you can say, my father is a farmer, and I helped set up a process where he could directly sell his produce at the farmer market and bypass the middleman. For example, if you are a software engineer and with your with your knowledge, with your creativity, you have helped your father, whatever business he was running from last 20 or 30 years. But now, as you are from background, you are electronics and communication engineer, or you are electrical engineer, and you have created a new equipment for your father or for your family, that according to your profession, now he is using in his profession, and that equipment is helping to promote his business. That you can add to tell about the family, that my father profession is this, and after doing my this degree, I have helped my father in his profession. Sometimes interview ask this question during interview. In that case, you can make it according. Sometimes they ask, what is your father? And then they relate it that if your father is this and you are that, whether you are any help to your father, or you just go with your own way and your father is going by their own way. They don't want to set it that everyone should do it, but yes, if you can relate, then you can add. And the last is closing. If opening is important, closing is as much as important as opening is there. As in the opening, the two questions are there. Closing also have two things you have to tell here. Why you are applied for this job and why you are the right fit for the job. Now, everything you have talked about, we don't have to tell them that what is my short-term goal, my long-term goal. I want that next time when you people have to give your introduction, these 10 steps I want to listen from you. You start with your greeting, you tell me your name, you tell me your qualification, additional qualification, courses, then your hobbies, which are related to your passion, your family, and your closing. I don't want to get any detailed introduction, but introduction in this 10 steps. At the end, when you are going to close your introduction, you have to tell why you are applying for this job. If you are applying for this job, you come to know that in this company, they need junior engineers. And this is the project the junior engineers have to handle. Why you want to apply and why you are the right candidate that who can be selected. So these two answers you have to give in the closing, which you can give in this way. You can talk about your future plans and connect them to company goals. For example, although I love my current role, if suppose you are working somewhere and if working there you are appearing for an interview in another company, you can say, although I love my current position or current role, I feel I am now ready for more challenging assignment and this position really excites me. Or with my passion for sport and my skills of data analyticals, I wish to work for a leading innovative company like yours and I believe I can make a positive impact. Because sometimes the company people, the employer, if they say that if you are working in this company, if suppose I am working in Amritsar group of colleges, and right now, if I want to apply for in another university, they definitely will ask me that if you are satisfied with your job where you are working now, why you want this job? Why you want to apply here if you are satisfied from your previous job? Then in that case, I need to answer in a very creative way that with my passion for support and my skills of data, I wish to work for a leading innovative company like yours, and I do believe I can make a positive impact that I'm satisfied with my current position, but your assignment, your company, your leading company making me more excited that I should work there also. I should check myself that I can, if your company is progressing, if your company is growing, can I grow with your company? So that can be the answer which can satisfy their limit. Then at the end, you have to very politely say, that's all from me. Thank you very much. And then it comes, I little bit be fast because as I know your time is going to be over. So there are some do's which we need to do in self-introduction. When we have to give our introduction, the only thing which we need to be work on that is confidence. Everything, even if we are going to say 5 lines, even in my introduction, if there are only 4 lines or 2 lines, but that 2, 4, 10, 20 lines, I need to say or speak very confidently. I should have good command over language. What 10 lines, what 5 lines, or what 2 lines I am going to speak, that should have proper language wise, grammatical wise, that should be complete and they are giving my complete information to the other person. Controlled body language. If I'm sitting in front of the person and giving my introduction, I should have complete control on myself. As we people have discussed non-verbal communication, we have discussed importance of non-verbal communication. We know that body language is very important. If we are prepared, we know what 10 lines I have to say. But if my body language is not controlled, they are not going to, my 10 lines are not going to help me to cast my impression on the employer. Clarity of thought, it needs to be very much. Whatever I am going to say about myself, I should have clarity of it. It is not that I have read it somewhere and I am making a copy of it and I just memorize and I am going to vomit it out in front of the employer. No, whatever I am going to say, I need to be clear about it. I have clarity of each and everything that what I have to say, how I have to say, and what I don't have to add in my introduction. All points must be clear and brief. Only relevant information, no beating about the bush. It is not that I have to make them believe that only I am the right candidate for the company. I don't have to make false judgments or I don't have to give them false promises that I will do this, I will change the company, I will do. I just have to tell them the relevant information which they need to be selected, that they need that the candidate should have whom they are going to select. Include all those points which can help you to achieve your placement target. Always be ready for any type of situation at the time of this presentation, as you may be close pressure. Sometimes what happens that you are giving your introduction, you say something, in between they ask anything, and you are interrupted and you forget that what to say next. whether to answer or whether to complete my introduction. But be ready with it. That in between they can ask or they can ask at the end of your introduction. Make good practice of this activity before the dinner. Every time it is because everyone thinks that every time if they get a chance to speak about themselves, they will. But you people definitely agree with me. When we are told to give introduction, we are not able to construct 10 lines. So that's why we focus on it. That make a good practice of this activity, because this is something which is your first step. And if first step is over, next step will definitely be over, covered in a very good way. Then it comes what are the do's which we don't have to do. Never be afraid of the audience or other people while giving the introduction. Never think of कि इसको पहले बाहर निकालो. I am not going to speak in front of that. He is laughing. You don't have to. Be not nervous. Do not include nonsense details. That I am a good dancer. I can make different faces. I am good in that particular thing which is not related. Avoid fumbling while speaking. Never lose eye contact. It is a sign of lack of confidence. Never ever avoid to speak when the opportunity is given. Right. So these are some things which you need to away from you when you are have to prepare your introduction. This is a video which I want to share with you, but I will share in the group so that you can see and you can understand that how introduction can be done in the better way. And this is the same draft we have done as I have given to you. You can start your introduction. Good morning, sir, sirs of madam. I am Yogeshwar Rai from Holly City, Amritsar, India. I was born and brought up at Amritsar, but for the last few years, I have settled myself in Chandigarh for my career prospects. I am BTech in CSE with distinction from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh. I have completed course in Java programming and data structures. I know Java, C++, and currently busy project on robot control software for Tech India Private Limited, Bengaluru. In my family, I have my parents and one younger sister. Presently, I am working as software engineer with US Computers Private Limited at Chandigarh. My hobbies include reading, and I try to keep myself updated with the happening around me. Sometimes I like to listen to my favorite songs and playlists. As I told, this is optional. You don't need to add hobby. My cherished goal is to be a distinctive engineer to do something for my country. My philosophy of life had always been to be honest and trustworthy, and I continue to be that. Since I do not have very lucrative desires, I simply want to lead a life of contentment where there is no lust. My purpose of coming over here is to explore some really challenging opportunity to work on my professional satisfaction. Thank you, all the respected members. That's all about